Hello, good afternoon. Today's topic is about viscosity. Viscosity is a property of a fluid which determines the amount of its resistance to shearing forces. For short, it measures the resistance of a fluid to flow. Now let's solve this problem. A cylinder of 125 millimeters radius rotates concentrically inside a fixed cylinder of 130 millimeters radius. Both cylinders are 300 millimeters long. Now let's determine the viscosity of the liquid which fills the space between the cylinders if a torque of 0.88 Newton meter is required to maintain an angular velocity of 2 pi radians per second. Now let's assume that the velocity gradient to be a straight line. For us to solve the viscosity, we need to find the shear stress all over the velocity divided by the thickness. For us to start solving the problem, we need to ensure that all of the given parameters are all listed down. This picture illustrates the figure and its given parameters. Now let's solve it. First, we need to find the velocity since the angular velocity and the radius are given. Angular velocity refers to how fast or how slow an object rotates. In this case, we have 2 pi rad per second. Just multiplied by the given radius and we come up with 0.785 meter per second as the velocity. Our next step is finding the shear stress. A shear stress of a fluid refers to the force tending to cause deformation. On this part, it's kind of tricky because we need to find the area first before we proceed. So in finding the area, we can multiply the angular velocity, the radius, and the height. And we will come up with 0.2356 meters squared. And now we're ready to solve for the shear stress by dividing the torque all over the product of the area and height. And we will come up with 29.88 pascals for our shear stress. And as for our final step, we are now ready to solve the problem by finding the viscosity. So we just need to fill out the shear stress and divide it all over the velocity divided by the thickness. And our final answer is at 0.19 pascal second as the viscosity of the liquid which fills the space between the cylinders.